Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. Proverbs 22:6. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Celebrity Talk Show. Thank you for joining us for today's episode. Today, we're going to have a statistical discussion about why preteens and teenagers actually need more supervision during these critical years. If you're not already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Join the celebrity movement and make sure your post notifications are on so you can be our next big winner. So for those of you who know me personally, you know that outside of entertainment, I've also been in the childcare industry for years, which has given me the opportunity to help raise, guide, and mentor a large number of children. That being said, this is an episode I've wanted to complete for a long time now. And in the light of the heartbreaking news about the 14-year-old girl from Indianapolis who was tragically gunned down and left behind by her so-called friends, as well as the horrific and tragic stories of Zion Foster, Ashley Elkins, and Naziah Harris, and all of the over 8 million children who are reported missing every year, I felt this was an important moment to address the issue. As someone who has been in this industry for a while, I often find a lot of parents that feel that their children are old enough to watch or supervise themselves once they reach ages like 10, 11, or 12. Oftentimes, I've seen it at even younger ages. Let me be clear. This is the absolute worst time to feel that your child requires less supervision than they may have needed during their younger years. As a matter of fact, children should be supervised and monitored more at this time, and not only around the ages of 10, 11, and 12, but also at 13, 14, 15, 16, and all the way up to 19 years old. Yet so many children are considered grown enough to make their own decisions with adolescent brains every day. Statistically speaking, the period from preteen to teenage years, roughly ages 10 to 19, is particularly critical for supervision because of several interrelated factors, both behavioral and developmental. These factors statistically increase the risk associated with unsupervised or inadequate supervision during that time. So today I'll be bringing you all 8 reasons why your child and/or children actually need more, not less supervision during their preteen and teenage years. Number 8. Academic and social success. Teens who have active parental involvement or adult supervision tend to have better academic outcomes. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Youth and Adolescence found that parental supervision and engagement during the teenage years is positively correlated with higher academic achievement and fewer behavioral problems. Adequate supervision helps foster healthy social development. A 2018 Journal of Child Development study found that teens who have close adult supervision are less likely to experience social isolation or difficulty forming healthy peer relationships. Now, let me preface this next one. I don't personally know why children are so freely allowed and encouraged to have social media accounts when we all know how dangerous the internet is. It is literally so harmful for their mental and physical health and overall well-being, and has led to countless cases of bullying, self-esteem issues, mental health issues, suicide, and death, just to name a few. But that's a different episode for another day. However, since an estimated 96% of kids ranging from 10 years to 16 years old have a social platform, let me give you all the facts. Number 7, cyberbullying and online safety. Teenagers are increasingly vulnerable to cyberbullying, with 15% of high school students reporting being electronically bullied, according to the CDC. Supervision helps teens navigate the challenges of online interactions and provides the emotional support needed when dealing with cyberbullying. Teenagers are often unsupervised while online, and this can expose them to inappropriate content, online predators, or extremist ideologies. Studies have shown that teens who engage in unsupervised internet use are at higher risk of encountering harmful content. Number 6, substance use and abuse. Statistically, teens are more likely to experiment with alcohol, drugs, and tobacco. According to the Monitoring the Future survey, by the time high school seniors graduate, approximately 60% of them have tried alcohol, 40% have tried cigarettes, and 20% have tried marijuana. Supervision can help limit exposure and intervene before experimentation leads to addiction or harmful behavior. Adolescents who are not properly supervised or who lack positive role models are at greater risk of substance abuse. A study from the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism showed that early exposure to alcohol before age 15 increases the likelihood of developing alcohol dependence later in life. Number 5, increased risk of accidents. Teenagers, particularly those aged 16 to 19, have the highest crash rates of any age group, according to the CDC. In 2020, the fatal crash rate per mile driven for teens was almost 3 times that of adults. This makes proper supervision, i.e. through supervised driving, critical for reducing accidents and fatalities. Preteens and teens are more likely to engage in outdoor activities that could lead to accidents or injuries. According to the National Safety Council, the highest rates of injuries in this age group are associated with sports, recreational activities, and accidents in home, all of which are mitigated by adult supervision. Number 4, peer influence. Adolescents are highly influenced by their peers, and peer pressure can lead to risky behaviors like smoking, drinking alcohol, or trying drugs. According to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, about 70% of high school seniors report alcohol use, with a significant portion trying illicit substances. Supervision can help mitigate these pressures by guiding the teens through choices. Number 3, sexual activity and safety. Early sexual activity has consequences. Teenagers are statistically more likely to engage in early sexual activity, with potential risks like unintended pregnancies, sexually transmitted infections, or emotional distress. According to the CDC, nearly 40% of all high school students have had sexual encounters. Adequate supervision can guide teens through safe, informed choices and reduce the risk of these outcomes. The prevalence of online sexual exploitation and abuse has risen in the recent years, with teens, especially those in the 12 to 17 age range, being highly vulnerable. According to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the majority of cases involving online sexual exploitation involve teenagers, making supervision crucial in monitoring digital interactions. Number 2, higher vulnerability to mental health issues. Statistically, mental health disorders often emerge during the preteen and teenage years. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, about 50% of health disorders manifest by age 14. Adolescents are particularly vulnerable to depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideation, making supervision critical for providing emotional support, early intervention, and guidance. Suicide is the second leading cause of death for teens ages 15 to 19, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Regular supervision and open communication can reduce the risk by addressing warning signs early. Number 1, brain development and high risk-taking behavior. The prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making, impulse control, and assessing risk, doesn't fully mature until the mid-20s. Adolescents are more prone to impulsive decision-making and often underestimate potential risk. Studies show that teens are more likely to engage in risky behaviors, such as reckless driving, drug use, or unsafe sexual activities due to underdeveloped brain regions responsible for impulse control and foresight. So you guys, please supervise your children. They need it now more than ever. And most importantly, teach them who God is. Introducing your child to God is the most important gift you'll ever give them. Contrary to popular belief, it's not buying them the new Jordans, the most popular video games, or spending $20,000 on a prom. Teach them about the one who, above all else, can save their souls. The bottom line is, we can't be with teens at all times, you guys. But one lesson that I always carried with me during my adolescence was the fact that God was always with me and was always watching me. That's a lesson my mother taught me. The best mother in the entire world. The most giving, loving, amazing human there is. That's what she taught me. And knowing this definitely helped me make many decisions during my teen years. And it has consistently helped me through everything in my life. I pray that you give your child this same gift. I'm your host, Brittany, and we'll see you all next time on Celebrity Talk Show. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to check out this one where I detail how to live a life of purpose and find meaning and direction in your everyday life.